Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode of my FM21 save with Ajax. As promised, we're going to look at a couple of young players every episode that are close to the first team. For the last couple of episodes, I've only done new gens, so I thought let's change it up a little. Let's look at a couple of players that are still young, very young, but they are actual players, all actually at the club when you start the game. At the moment, all three of them that I want to look at for this episode are loaned out, but that does not mean that they won't get a chance in the first team in the future. So let's start with the first one. His name is Yuri Regeer, and for those of you who are actually a fan of Ajax in real life, you will definitely know his name. He hasn't made a first team appearance yet in real life. He has made appearances for Young Ajax. And in game he is at Young Ajax, but this season he is on loan at PSV. So he is 20 years old, already got 26 under 21 caps and 4 under 21 goals. So he is going down in his attributes a little bit, but he is playing a lot. As you can see, he has played every game in the group stage in the Europa League for PSV, as well as 24 league games and 4 cup games too. So as you can see, we got him here, they got him in real life for free from ADO. We have loaned him out once to Heracles, played 29 games. We then loaned him out to Bologna in the Serie A, where he played 25 games, and now he's already played 24 for PSV. So he's going to become very good in the future. He's valued at 8 million euros, and as you can see, he has potential 4.5 stars. And of course, he is homegrown at the club and in the nation. So that is player number 1. Moving on to player number 2, a name that some of you will recognize definitely is Nachi Univar. So in FM20, every season he used to leave Ajax immediately, at least for me, because you could offer him a contract from the start and he would probably accept it. For me, every time when I forgot to offer him a contract, he moved to Man City. And as soon as some big club offered him a contract, I didn't have a chance of getting him to sign a new one for us. So in real life, he had actually already made a couple of appearances. It doesn't say that here, but he did. It wasn't in the league, it was in the cup. I believe 1 appearance versus Spakenburg. He even scored a penalty too. He is now on loan at Sparta. He has been there on loan for 2 seasons, and he's played a lot of games. Last season he played 29, scored 7, and now he played 26, scored only 2, but assisted 8, and there are still a couple of games to go. So he's valued at 10 million, and as you can see, his potential is still 4 stars and homegrown. He is luckily going up in his attributes, unlike Yuri Regeer, so I'm happy to see his progression going pretty well. So let's go to the third player and the last player for this season. For this episode, and that is Kenneth Taylor. So he has made 1 or 2 appearances in the league for the first team, but other than that, he's not a regular yet. He is a Young Ajax regular, and in game, as you can see, is valued at 6 million, 15 under 21 caps. He is on loan at Heerenveen. His attributes are going up as well, just like Univar's, and he has 4.5 star potential. And let's look at this. He was here from the start, of course. We've used him 2 games. We've used him 2 games, alright. And Heerenveen, last season they used him 16 league games in which he scored twice. And this season they've already used him 16 times too, in which he scored twice and got 3 assists. Look at this difference as well. Last season they paid 1.6k to loan him, and this season they paid 12,250 euros just to loan him in. So that just shows how well his development is going. So that is all for the 3 players that I wanted to show you for this episode. Let's look at the fixtures. Last time, of course, the Juventus game and the Feyenoord game. We then beat PSV 4-0, beat Cambuur 7-0, and beat NAC Breda 2-1. The crazy thing is that we had 5 home games back to back in this period of time. Luckily, we don't have 5 away games waiting for us now. We've got Juventus away and AZ away, so we do have 2 very difficult games is what I meant to say. Of course, we have to beat Juventus in Turin in Italy. as we drawn the last game, the first leg, which you saw last episode. So let's just get straight into it. Of course, we've won every league game in between, so as you can see, I'll show it to you real quickly. We are in first, 10 points ahead of AZ. Look at that goal difference. I mean, even if they beat us, they are still 7 points behind us, so I'm not too scared of losing that lead. We can only finish, the lowest we can finish is 4th. So with 7 games to go, I think we can defend that 10-point gap to number 2 pretty well. So this is going to be the team that we're going to use today. Onana, Frimpong, Markovic, Guardiol, Rensch, Kirsten and Gravenberg, Anthony, Kudus, Asensio and Traoré. Anthony has become so insanely good this season. I mean, valued at 62 million euros. I hadn't even checked that. But 4.5-star current ability already. And look at how well he has been playing too. Absolutely insane. So very happy with him, of course. Only made 3 appearances for the Brazilian national squad, which is a little odd. I mean, look at how well he's playing for us and how insanely good he is too, to then only make 3 appearances for the national team. I mean, of course, as a winger, they've got Neymar, but other than that, I can't really name a very good winger that they might still have. I mean, of course, Willian could be there, but he might be getting a little older now. And this is fun. Well, I say fun. It's gonna hurt. We're facing both De Ligt and Tagliafico. I hadn't even seen that in the first leg. Of course, De Ligt moved there in real life about 1 or 2 seasons ago. And Tagliafico, we sold him. But Tagliafico, luckily for us, starts on the bench. And they're playing very defensively, but that is to be expected from an Italian team. Of course, they're very focused on their defense. So let's get straight into the game. And let's hope that we can grab the win here. That is pretty much all that we need. Doesn't even matter by how many goals. It just matters that we do get the win. We had the first shot on goal. So that's positive. But, you know, you don't get anything from shots on goals unless they go in. All in all, until now, still a pretty boring game. But there we have a highlight. After this highlight, I'll have a few things that I want to talk about. And Markovic saves us from going down after just inside the 20-minute mark, as he passed Onana. But luckily, Markovic was there to save us for now. But Juventus are in possession again. And Yusuf Demir this time does put it away. And we are down 1-0. So still we need 1 goal and then we would get it to extra time. But of course I'm hoping that we don't need extra time. So I've shown you the couple of players that are close to the first team. Traoré is actually on the verge as Asensio equalizes just 10 minutes later. It's 1-1 again. So we've got an hour left to get one goal to get us through to the next round. But what I was saying is that Lassina Traoré has picked up 8 Man of the Match awards for this season so far. And 8 is also the record, the club record. I think it was from Boré a couple of seasons ago. So if Traoré picks up 1 more Man of the Match in either a Champions League match or one of the 7 league games, he gets the new record. So that is really something to look forward to for him, of course. Still being a very young player, so always good to pick up records already. So still a pretty boring game. We both had 1 goal, but that was pretty much every highlight of the entire game. So let's get Donny van de Beek on the pitch for Kirsten and hoping that he can have a good impact here. But we do have possession as it is right now, but Traoré loses the ball. So all in all, a pretty even game. I think we do still stand a good chance of going through. I mean, not if we lose the ball like that, though. Not if we lose the ball like that. But Onana saves us once again. But I do think we have a pretty good chance of going through to the next round. We're not being dominated at all. But I do see Juventus scoring 1 goal late in the game. Or maybe now. And there it is. Moussa Dembele with his 11th goal of the season. So we are down, so as it stands we would go out, but as Tagliafico has been subbed on. But if we score 1 goal and we make it 2-2, then we would go through to the next round, and Onana saves us again. So we do only need 1 goal. Let's get Traoré off the pitch because he hasn't been performing. Let's get Grootvam on there and Anthony, who I praised before the match, of course. This is the exact match that he plays pretty poorly, and as Tyus Magno makes it 3-1, and that is probably us done and dusted, because there are only a quarter of an hour left. I mean, it would be enough time to score 2 goals, but we would have to go a little bit more attacking, and that of course leaves more gaps for Juventus to go into, as they look to do right now. And there it is, Dembele with the 4-1, and now there's certainly no coming back for us. But we're gonna still try. We're gonna try our best. We're gonna go all out attacking and see where that takes us. I can't shout at the players right now. I can in probably a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna click that away. But yeah, I think that's the end for us in this season's Champions League. Again, the first knockout round and another goal. Alright, so that one's disallowed. I don't want this to get to become a complete demolition. I mean, the score as it is already bad enough, 4-1. I don't really know how that happened. I mean, we were very even the entirety of the first half, but they just pushed through, and once they got their second goal, the 2-1, they just kept coming and coming, and they are still doing that right now as Tyus Magno moves into the box, and another goal. 5-1. I mean, we have gone all out attacking, so it is expected that we, as I said, are a little bit more open in the back, but still, 5-1 is an exaggerated result. We do not deserve to lose by that much, as Rocky Grootvam tries to go for goal, but he narrowly misses it. I mean, I am of course disappointed that we are knocked out of the Champions League, but the thing that hurts the most is the fact that we lose 5-1, which we do not deserve at all. And at this point, we keep getting to the same round every season and we keep getting knocked out, so there's either something that we're doing wrong or we just don't have the quality of players. So it might be good for us to actually drop down to the Europa League one season, so we have a chance of winning that and then build on from that. We do get a lot of money in the Champions League, and of course we're still going to try our best next season, but it is very disappointing that we're being knocked out again. Well, I say that, but I see now that Juventus did win it last season, so I can understand why they beat us, but it's still very disappointing. But that game is behind us now. Let's move on to the AZ game. I'm going to see you guys for that game in just a second. And here we are for the game against AZ away from home. What happened in between is that Feyenoord actually lost the league game, so they've dropped off even more, which means that they can only get 18 points right now. So if we pick up the win here, then the lowest we can finish is third, which would be very good. I'm still very disappointed by that 5-1 loss. I mean, the fact that the gap was so big really hurts. But we are getting into this match with full hopes of us picking up the win. I really do think we can, and I think we should, most importantly. So let's see what we can do here. Let's rotate a little bit, not too much because it is still a very good team, of course. But we do have to try to keep everybody in the team happy. So that is exactly the reason why we are rotating. So this is going to be the team: Onana, Frimpong, Markovic, Alderweireld, Ruggeri, Van de Beek, Gravenberg, Neres, Kudus, Eriksen and Traoré. I don't think I've actually shown Ruggeri ever, but he's a very good young player. I believe he's 21 or 22 now, and he's just a tiny little bit below the first team, but he's gonna get his the nod today at left back instead of Rensch, because Rensch of course is in fact a right back. But we're gonna try Ruggeri out there. Might not be the best match to rotate that much, but we'll see where we will get. Hopefully we'll pick up the 3 points. I still think we should, even with this rotated side. AZ are using Mazraoui, of course, an ex-Ajax player who we sold to them. Let's hope they don't score the goal immediately there. Alright, end of highlight, luckily. So, what I haven't talked about at all this season, I believe, is the board expectations. So, what they asked of us in terms of the Champions League was to reach the first knockout round. You've just seen us lose that, so we have reached the expectations. So they are happy with us in that aspect. They want us to win the league. They are delighted that we are on course to winning the league. They wanted us to win the cup too. Of course, we didn't do that. We got knocked out by Excelsior, I believe. So they were very, very frustrated with that. Understandably so. So was I. As the referee is going to be looking to the VAR, to the screen, if it is going to be a penalty or not. I thought it was just outside of the box, but we'll see what they say. There we go. There's the verdict, and it's not a penalty. It is indeed a free kick. Of course, we still have a very good chance. We have Eriksen, and he is going to take it, but it gets cleared by AZ. So, they wanted us to grow our reputation and stay the most reputable club in the Netherlands, and they are delighted with both of those. So we have grown our reputation, and we are still, of course, the most reputable club in the Netherlands. Other than that, they wanted us to have the best youth system in the country, and we got that too. I believe we're even close to having the best youth system in the world, but I don't think there's any way to actually check that if that's true. But that's just my opinion. But they are happy that we do have the best youth system in the country. And the last thing is that they wanted us to sell young players for a profit, or buy young players to sell on for a profit, as Ernest Poku makes it 1-0 for AZ just before halftime. But they are also delighted with that, or they were happy at least. I don't think they were delighted with that that particular thing, because we've not done that very much. We've started doing that this season, selling off a little more players than we used to. So all in all, to give you guys a summary, the board are still very happy with how we're performing, luckily. So they've got no intention of sacking us, so that's very good. I love that. I'm always, when I'm on a bad run of form, I'm always very scared that they're gonna sack us after just a couple of lost games. Not that that is very realistic, but I just have a feeling always that is gonna happen. What is realistic is us losing this game, which is not what we like to see. So let's see if we can move to a more attacking formation. Let's go back to the 4-2-4. Let's get Anthony as striker, Kudus at right wing, and Asensio at left wing. And hopefully we'll get a few chances, because we haven't had too many this game. We actually haven't been performing that well at all. I think AZ have got us, at least this game, they've got us exactly where they wanted us. And that shows. We only have 3 shots on target. We have a lower XG. We do have more possession, but you don't get anything from that. How is... Alright, so I don't know. I think my eyes fooled me there. But we do have another highlight here. Can we get something from... No, Kudus, not if you do something like that. So that is going to be 2 losses in one episode probably, which is... I don't think I've ever had that in my Ajax save before. Maybe I have, actually, when we had 2 Champions League games. But it hasn't happened very often. So very disappointing to get knocked out of the Champions League against Juventus and to lose 1-0 against AZ in the league. We do still have a 7-point gap to them because they are in second. But I would have loved to have won it here, and then the gap would be 13 points. But we do lose it. Very disappointing. Don't really know what happened there. Again, the same as the game against Juventus. Don't know why that gap was so big. Don't know how AZ have beaten us here. We need to pick up a couple of more points. We can't drop off now. I mean, if we drop off and fall out of form and we lose a couple of more games, then it's going to be very tight near the end of the season. As you can see right here, we still have PSV 3 games before the end of the year. So what we will do for the next episode, it is going to be the last episode of this season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my eye on the league table, and as soon as we can win the league, I'll do that game live. So that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.